Ever wondered if a woman secretly likes you? These 6 accidental phrases she says might be all the clues you need to decode her hidden feelings. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the subtle signs of her attraction. You're so different from other guys I've met. This phrase might sound simple, but it's loaded with meaning. When a woman tells you this, she's not just paying you a random compliment, she's actually highlighting something unique about you that sets you apart. Maybe it's your sense of humor, your confidence, or the way you genuinely listen when she speaks. Whatever it is, she's noticing it, and that makes you stand out from the crowd in her mind. Think about it. Most people go through their interactions on autopilot. We meet people, exchange pleasantries, and move on. But when someone says you're different, it means you've stopped her in her tracks. You've done something, or perhaps it's just who you are, that's made her take notice in a way she doesn't with most people. It's her way of saying, "You're special to me," even if she's not ready to come out and say it directly. Now here's the key. When you hear this phrase, don't just smile and move on. Use it as an opportunity to dig a little deeper. You could respond with something like, "Really? What makes you say that?" Watch her reaction. Chances are, she'll get a little shy, maybe even laugh nervously. She might brush it off, or she might tell you exactly what she admires about you. Either way, this is your chance to build a stronger connection. By showing genuine interest in her comment, you're reinforcing the idea that you're not just any guy, you're someone who pays attention, someone who values her perspective. And trust me, that's a quality she's not going to forget. I don't usually do this, but with you. Now, this one is a classic. It's the kind of thing people say when they're stepping out of their comfort zones. And if a woman says it to you, it's a surefire sign that you're making her feel something different, something exciting. Think about what this phrase implies. It's not just about the action she's referring to, whether it's sharing a personal story, going on an unexpected adventure, or even breaking her own rules. It's about the why. And the why is you. When she says, "I don't usually do this," what she's really saying is, "You're worth stepping outside of my usual boundaries." That's a powerful statement. It means you've made her feel safe enough to take risks, comfortable enough to be vulnerable, and intrigued enough to try something new. This isn't something people do lightly. Most of us stick to what's familiar, to what feels safe. So, when someone is willing to break that pattern, it's because they feel something extraordinary. Your response here matters too. Instead of brushing it off or making a joke, acknowledge the significance of the moment. You could say, "I'm glad I could inspire you to try something new," or even just, "That means a lot." By recognizing the weight of her words, you're reinforcing the connection you're building. And remember, every time she steps out of her comfort zone for you, it strengthens her emotional investment in the relationship. That's how bonds are built, through shared experiences that push the boundaries of what's normal or expected. Who's that girl you were talking to? Let's talk about jealousy for a moment. It's a natural emotion, and when handled correctly, it can actually be a sign of interest and care. When a woman asks you this question, especially in a playful or teasing tone, it's a clear indication that she's paying attention to you. More importantly, she's paying attention to who else is paying attention to you. This phrase is her way of testing the waters. She's trying to gauge where she stands in your life, whether she has competition, and how much of your attention is directed her way. It's a subtle way of saying, "I'm invested enough to care who you're spending time with." Now, this doesn't mean she's being possessive or overly jealous. It's just her way of expressing interest without coming right out and saying it. So how should you handle this? First and foremost, don't get defensive. There's no need to over-explain or justify your actions. Instead, keep it light and playful. You could say something like, "Oh, just an old friend. No one as interesting as you." This not only reassures her, but also subtly shifts the focus back to her, reinforcing her importance in your eyes. Remember, her jealousy isn't a bad thing. It's a sign that she values your attention and doesn't want to lose it. By handling this moment with confidence and ease, you're showing her that you're the kind of person who can navigate emotions with maturity and understanding. And trust me, that's a trait she'll find incredibly attractive. "You'd make a great boyfriend." Now, this one might seem like an innocent observation, but let's be real, it's anything but. When a woman says this, she's not just stating a fact, she's planting an idea. She's testing the waters, trying to see how you'll react to the possibility of being more than just friends. It's her way of saying, "I can see myself with you," without making herself too vulnerable. Think about it. Why would she bring up the idea of you being a boyfriend unless she's already thought about it? This phrase is her way of putting the thought in your head while keeping her own feelings somewhat under wraps. It's like she's giving you a nudge, hoping you'll take the hint and consider the possibility of a relationship. Your response here is crucial. Instead of brushing it off or turning it into a joke, engage with it. You could say something like, "That's a big compliment. What makes you think that?" This not only shows that you're paying attention, but also gives her the chance to share more about what she admires in you. And who knows, this conversation could be the starting point for something deeper. The key here is to recognize the vulnerability behind her words. By acknowledging her compliment and showing genuine interest, you're creating a space where she feels safe to express her feelings. And that's the foundation of any great relationship. "You remind me of someone I used to like." This one is a bit sneakier, but it's no less significant. When a woman says this, she's not just reminiscing about the past. She's drawing a connection between you and someone she once had feelings for. And let's be honest, that's not something people do casually. By comparing you to someone she used to like, she's indirectly admitting that you share qualities she finds attractive. It's her way of saying, "You have the kind of traits I'm drawn to," without fully exposing herself. At the same time, it's a way for her to gauge your reaction. She's testing the waters, trying to see if you'll pick up on the hint or brush it off. So, how should you respond? First, don't let the comment slide. A playful response like, "Hopefully I'm the upgraded version," can keep the conversation light while also acknowledging the connection she's making. Alternatively, you could ask, "What about me reminds you of them?" This shows that you're interested in understanding her perspective, which can lead to a deeper conversation. The important thing is to recognize the intention behind her words. She's not just making a random comment, she's revealing a part of her thought process, a glimpse into how she sees you. By engaging with her in a thoughtful and playful way, you're showing her that you're someone who's not only confident but also emotionally intelligent. "I don't know why, but I feel so comfortable around you." This might be the most revealing phrase on the list. When a woman says she feels comfortable around you, it's not just a compliment, it's a declaration of trust. Comfort is the foundation of any strong connection, and if she's saying this to you, it means you've created a space where she feels safe, valued, and understood. Think about what this phrase implies. Feeling comfortable isn't just about being physically at ease, it's about emotional security. It means she trusts you enough to let her guard down, to be herself without fear of judgment. And that's no small thing. In a world where people are often guarded and cautious, creating a sense of comfort is a rare and valuable quality. So what should you do when you hear this? First and foremost, recognize the significance of her words. Acknowledge her feelings with gratitude and humility. You could say something like, "That means a lot. I really enjoy spending time with you too." This not only validates her feelings, but also reinforces the connection you're building. The key here is to understand that comfort is a precursor to deeper feelings. When someone feels comfortable around you, it opens the door for intimacy, trust, and love. By continuing to nurture this sense of comfort, you're laying the groundwork for a relationship that's built on mutual respect and understanding. And that's the kind of connection that lasts. Each of these 6 phrases might seem small or insignificant on the surface, but when you look deeper, they reveal a wealth of information about how a woman feels about you. Whether she's highlighting your uniqueness, stepping out of her comfort zone, or expressing trust, these moments are golden opportunities to build a stronger connection. The key is to stay present, listen carefully, and respond with confidence and authenticity.